Are you serious? Oh my gosh. This one is non-native and invasive. This is called Oriental bittersweet. That's where it comes from. Oriental bittersweet. So it's a native species. It gets really big and thick, so as you'll see some pretty big lines out there. This is a native species. This is native grape. It also gets really big and overrun. Right now we have a massive problem with deer. Our deer eat everything. So anything from about here to about here is gone. If you look at the edge of the forest, you can see that nice little clean line that runs about 6 feet up. And that is a browse line. So Valley Forge has this very clear example of a browse line. Deer eat everything. We've not had a tree grow in Valley Forge since like 1980 something. So what's going to happen if we don't have any trees regrowing? What's going to happen eventually to our forests? Trees do die. They disappear. They die. They come down. So our large trees will come down, and there's going to be nothing there to replace them. So potentially we can lose our forest if we don't get the deer under control and get our native trees growing back up again. Vines are a big problem. They go up into our large trees and they pull them down. They're under a lot of tension. So one of our goals today is we're going to be cutting these vines in order to help protect the remaining trees that we have. We're also implementing a deer reduction. I don't know how much you know about that, but we have started to control the deer population. They like to eat all of the plants that are native to this area. They select those plants that are supposed to be here. Therefore, it gives an additional competitive edge to those non-native species, because now the deer are clearing out the native species. They're creating this nice open area for invasive species to come in, and nothing around here eats them. So it's kind of like a double whammy for our native species. So that's why you guys are really, really important. So we're going to be working primarily with cutting vines. So we're going to be cutting our 2 big vines.
No, I was just going to say, we talked about this, maybe more in the Water City Ecology course.
Okay.
But in the citizenship course, and we're going to talk more, why trees are so important for streams and watersheds. So if you could maybe in 1 minute, like, why is that important?
Why are they important?
Yeah, how would the stream be affected if you lose a forest?
Oh, well, you have all the forest as far as upstream in your watershed. I mean, your forests help control sediment, it helps control pollution. We've got a riparian buffer that you'll see that we have to fence, so that's another project that's going along here that controls stream temperature. It helps regulate the water that goes into your streams. It helps control any pollutions, sediment in particular. When you guys were driving along, did you guys look at the Valley Creek and see like how much sediment is in the Valley Creek? I mean, that is a result of one runoff. Loss of forest, loss of things to stabilize your soils. It impacts, it produces increased nutrients into your stream. If all your sediments run into the stream, there's nitrogen, there's all kinds of things that can get in there that can throw out the balance, the natural balance in your aquatic ecosystem. It impacts macroinvertebrates, which is the basis of your food chain. So there's a lot of issues related to forest health. So we're going to be working in kind of the park boundary upstream from Washington's headquarters, still in the Valley Creek watershed. So invasive plant species, those seeds fall into the Valley Creek, they go and they get dispersed down spread throughout the park. So one of the ways that invasive species start moving through an area is their seeds can drop into a water course, and they just kind of spread around. Purple loosestrife is a really good example of that. It just gets dispersed throughout an area by following a water course. So one of the things we're going to be doing the vine. We're going to be cutting the vines. Anyone here, before I continue, anyone have any type of severe allergy that I need to be aware of? Bees, bee stings, anyone that's never been stung by a bee before? Everyone's never been stung by a bee. Anybody else? Never been stung by a bee? Never? Never in your lifetime? If you guys get stung, I've not seen any bees today. I doubt that you're going to encounter any. But just in case, if you get stung, make sure you let somebody know. Anybody in general, but particularly the people that have never been stung before, because sometimes you can have a reaction that can be pretty severe. And most people that have already been stung know, okay, well, I don't have that. It's kind of a rare thing, but just to be on the safe side. Is everyone able to identify poison ivy?
No.
Bagging everything, it's part of IPM. It's called Integrated Pest Management. It's a method that we use in the park to kind of minimize our herbicide use. So we're going to be taking all of our plants that are seeding, that is a potential seed source, and we're going to be throwing it away instead of leaving that new individual potentially out there by leaving the seeds out there. We're going to make sure we throw them all in the garbage bags and dispose of them properly. Anything else? There's a whole lot. Here's the end of all this. Just kidding. All right. So we've got our tools here. We've got our big bow saws. I would suggest maybe one person or two people carry a big bow saw. These are for our really large vines. So we do not carry our saws like this. We don't swing them around. We pay attention because these are really sharp. They always just get carried straight down on the ground. We've also got some shears.
No.
Again, we're not going to be needing too many of them. I would say maybe one or two people would want to carry shears. Again, don't throw these over your shoulder. Don't swing them around. Just leave them pointed to the ground because, you know, you've got this way and you fall. It's going to be really uncomfortable. We've got our hand pruners and our hand saws. I typically will carry a hand pruner and a hand saw. This works really well. This is a really great little saw. You can get most of your larger vines with these things, and these are pretty powerful little snippers. You can get something almost to about a ½ inch you can cut with these things. So these are my two things that I prefer using. It has a little button at the top as a safety, catches and closes. That way it's really safe. So try not to walk with these open and out, and then these also have a safety like little knob on them so that you can keep them closed. I keep one in each pocket, and then I also keep, I carry with me my favorite tool, the loppers. Again, not over your shoulder, not swinging around, you carry them face down. And these, you know, just work, and these can get your pretty good big vines. So between those three tools, if you carry those three, or if you don't want to carry all of them, one or two that you really like using, it's personal preference. This is what I usually have on me when I come out to do this, so this is what I prefer. Those shears work really well with our grasses and some of the other things. So you know, if you want to use them, you're welcome to do that. And the same thing with the big bow saws. Every once in a while, you do need one of those big ones. So it's nice to have somebody that carries that. So we've got these tools. Please help yourselves. We've also got our, in this bag here, we've got our eye protection. If you do not wear glasses or wear sunglasses or what have you, please take one. If it's in a little plastic Ziploc bag, just make sure the little Ziploc bag gets kind of put back in here so we don't lose it. We've got both leather gloves and we've got cloth gloves. Again, I usually will have the leather gloves on and carry my cloth gloves in my backpack, just because this is really good for when you're pulling like while a minute, but these are just really great because you can stick your hands almost anywhere and you're not going to get stabbed by something and it's not going to irritate your hands. So I would recommend, you know, having both or whatever you would prefer using. You're welcome to pick whichever one you'd like to use, but that's usually what I carry. Like, we've got all that in this campus that's in the ice and field, but we're going to do that more. So we're going all the way down. We're going down that all the way down to the edge of ice and field, and we're going to do that to the valley. Wow! What do you think?
You said it was a rock. You said it was a rock.
You guys all have water to make you drink?
I have no water.
What's that?
I am Bear Grylls. We'll show you how to get water out of the clay pot.
Yeah.
Bigger water. I got. I'll take care of it. Let me put my grill on.
Those actually work good.
I get my
Those are probably better, even better.
Alright. Now let me,
Do you have any other shoes?
To get one of these.
Do you have any other shoes? It's up to you. It's whatever you feel like carrying. So I prefer that little saw and that. But every once in a while, you know, you need that big one. So have one.
Yeah, you should get it.
those are sitting. I have a couple of them in my house. I use them all the time.
Anyway, somehow I'll end up with my shoes. Yeah, glad to help. I'm going to say goodbye to my link.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah! Woo! We're going hunting! Woo!
Well, I don't have my socks today.
Woo! E-H-E-L-E-S Eagles! Yeah!
Okay, we're going to be walking this way. We're going to be walking down. There's a dirt road. We're going to be walking through the dirt road to a big field. It's called Eitzen Field. Eitzen Field should have like a bomb dropped on it. It is just like covered with invasive species. It's eventually the long-term goal of that particular field is to reforest that field because it's too small to maintain as a meadow. One of the problems with invasive species is that the smaller area that you have more edge to it. And the edge is an area that is a little bit more, it's got a lot of more stuff going on along the edges. So it permits an easy way for invasive species to get in. So the more edge you have on a meadow, as far as edge with a forest, the more likely invasive species are going to encroach. So there's about a minimum field size in order for it to be a sustainable field, and this is far below it. So we're going to be walking through Eitzen Field, and we're going to be working on a stretch of woods that is between Eitzen Field and the Valley Creek. So we're going to be kind of working in a line and trying to cut as many vines as we can along this section of Valley Creek, so that it's going to be working within the Valley Creek watershed. Anything that would happen up on that stream is going to flow right into the Valley Creek. So it's kind of a really important area that we hit this, especially since it's kind of the upper section of the park before it hits down by Washington's headquarters. Everybody has a tool. Everyone has safety glasses if they need it, gloves. We're going to walk back. It's a little bit of a walk. That's why I want to make sure that we all have everything we need. We don't need that. Oh wait, yes we do. I do need that. So I'm going to flag a couple. If I find anything that looks terrible, I'm going to flag it. Don't you hear it? Particularly poison ivy, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to point out some things as we're walking along, and some native species and some invasive species, trying to identify things for you. If you guys have any questions, you can ask myself or one of your teachers or Jay. We're going to start with Jay.
All right, folks. If you're tired, just let me know and we can go back a little earlier. Let me know.
We're getting to it. What are you talking about? We're hungry too.
This right here is wine, very wine against name because it has this like wine colored stem. It is a non-native, it's not a high-fire.
Yeah, they have to do that twice.
When you are cutting vines, you do two cuts. You cut once as low to the ground as possible, as close to where it's coming out, and then a second cut at about eye level. That gives us a very clear marker as far as what's already been cut in the forest. So make sure you make those two cuts, one at about eye level and one that's down at the bottom of the ground. So that's for our vines. This is our wine berry. They produce a berry that's very sweet. It kind of tastes like sweet tarts, the candy, and it's edible, and you can make a pie out of it if you ever choose to do something like that. So it's one of our wild edibles, but it is a non-native, non-where. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working from this corner. We're going to try to spread out in a line. I'm going to walk straight down to as close to Valley Creek as we can. Some of this has been done and some has not. So you'll see those markers in the tree that, vines that have been cut. So we're going to do cleanup, the area, the vines that people miss. So those are really obvious now. And then we're going to work our way this way. So I brought a whistle. So whistle, I'm going to do 2 blasts of my whistle. People spread out all over the place. What that means is come back here. That means either we're going home, we're done, or there's thunder and we need to get back to the car, or I need to get a hold of everybody. But it's a way to bring you guys all back together to one spot in case we get spread out really far. So I'll do 2 blasts of the whistle. Try to stay with somebody. Look around. Everybody should have like a partner or something. Just make sure that, because when we leave, you're going to be stuck here. So if we all leave without you, that's a problem. So make sure you have a buddy or somebody that you guys know, because I'm not going to be able to remember everybody. But I'm going to do the 2 whistle blasts. That means come back right here. We're going to either go, somewhere else, or we're going to be doing something, but it's a way to get you guys back together. So we're going to spread out. We're going to try to work in a big line. So we'll just follow me straight down there, and we're going to be walking that way. And you can see up in the trees, you can see the vines that have been killed, like on this big tree right there. You can see that there's pretty much, it's all just, there's dead vines hanging on there. Don't grab the vines and pull them off. The idea is just to cut that connection with the earth so that it loses all the water weight. Because the primary weight in the vines is the tension and then the water weight. So don't grab them and pull them down, because you can bring down a limb on you, you can bring down some vines on you, so you just don't want to grab anything and pull it down. But then you'll see like the whole tree, you only really see the tree leaves on there, you don't see the vine leaves, bless you. Whereas if you look over there, you can see that's covered in grape. That's all grapevine that's covering whatever poor tree is over on that side. So these guys, this should be all pretty obvious. I'm going to point out poison ivy if I see any, and I'll do my best to flag it. I will also flag something called Virginia creeper, which is a native vine that we're trying to not cut. But if you do cut it, don't stress out too much because we've got tons of it. So if you see this, just don't cut it. Like if you see something like this. Possibly endangered plant species that we still have here, which is kind of cool.
This is the Oriental bittersweet. And you can see how it just goes up the tree and eventually will strangle the tree pretty much. So you can work on this and work your way around it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we just want to try to release it. Like you see how there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like if we can get those and then cut it around the bottom, then yeah, that's the idea. This one's great. This one looks like it's been cut at the bottom, but nobody cut it up here, so I'll be back. That tree is completely dead. That's behind us.
Grab the end. There's a button on the other side.
Oh, you know what? I did that. I went to a trade, so I went to trade show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He actually works at Reading Truck and Bus.
Oh, okay.
Invasive vines.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Woo! Finally!
Dr. Dunbar,
Yeah.
I cut down 26 vines.
Did you really?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Most of them are thicker than I thought.
Good going.
My legs are killing me. Do you ever?
You can have one of these if you want to. You're good. Yeah, positive.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah, you're
Thank
good.
You. I feel like this is gonna cut that with it. Actually,
All right. it's a wind. Somewhere cut the wind. Yeah, you can do it.
Say hi, guys.
Hi.
Yay for vine cutting. You can do it.
Let me show you how.
Yeah.
We're not done by
No, no.
Yeah, there's no way.
You have a nice shot. Wow.
We can get this one out of you right now.
Look at
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I dropped my sausage.
he picked him up.
Oh.
Yeah. Did they get it?
That was a really good
Almost.
pick me out of that one.
Huh. Yeah. Come on, Moses.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, it's big time. I am.
Come on, it would be epic if we could catch this on video.
We're almost there.
Wait.
It's doing it. Almost. Oh, you gotta have the honors. Oh man.
All right. Woo!
Woo!
Good job.
Man, that looks like a tree. Yeah, come, go for it. Cut it. Go. Get it out of there.
What is this?
You can take shifts.
Yeah, you can take shit.
Yeah, I started it for you guys.
Good.
Really? That.
Chopping wood. Seriously.
Oh, yes. That little. I am excited.
I can't tell at all.
Got it.
Wow. We're
Yeah, come on, Doug.
Just
Stop
snap
this
it.
slapping.
Woo!
You can probably get it with the clippers now,
Yeah.
don't you think?
These guys are.
Ooh. All right.
Yeah, maybe.
Those clippers.
Whatever you,
probably.
you got like that.
Maybe one.
That's a patented technique. We need to get that on video.
It's on video.
YouTube video. Like how you get oriented.
I guess I have to go find people now. Different people. Weren't we supposed to be bagging the things we cut down?
Cut some more vines.
All the vines right here.
Alright, since you got me just walking, now I can just...
Okay, go ahead. Alright.
Why is everything getting so deep? What are you running into? Really bad place for me to do.
Nice.
I'm like, oh, I don't know why I'm so itchy. You want me to videotape?
It's alright. I got it. You're fine. No big deal.
What about the ratchet?
We got in trouble down by the river.
Cut a tree?
We were cutting a tree. We didn't know it was a tree.
Well, the vines get so big and woody, it's meant to hurt too.
Yeah.
Wow!
If I cut this, everything's gonna fall. So.
Look at that.
There's crazy goo over here. I don't actually know what it is.
Oh, the white.
Gelatinous goo.
Goo.
Oh,
Yellow goo.
we found really cool yellow goo.
We don't know what it is.
I'm not be able to answer you guys, so I'm not very good with gelatinous food.
Did you bring your gelatinous goo ID key with you?
I did not.
Oh
See it?
man, we're never gonna
Where?
find out.
Oh, you can eat that.
What?
Get out of here.
No way!
No
Let me see
way.
it.
You can
Let me
eat
see you eat
this.
it. Make sure you get this, Jenny.
I'm getting it.
Videotape.
This is injury to your grapevine. It's sap.
Eat it.
It's great.
It's sap?
Yeah, it's sap. Something was boring in here. So what it is it's either dripping down.
Oh my gosh,
From
you
an
guys have
injury.
to touch it. It's so cool.
Wow.
An
Really?
injury, yeah.
Is it sticky?
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's a lot like between Jello and jelly.
it will eventually
Really?
get harder and harder
Eat some
and
of it.
become
That's
a
awesome.
like a sugar
So it's like-
sugar cube. So what that's what I
It's just
Oh,
healing the tree.
it's what it looks like to me. So I'm not going to say 100% certain that that's what it is.
So maybe I shouldn't eat it.
No,
I
you should.
wouldn't recommend eating
No, you
anything
should.
unless you're about to die and you need to.
Oh yeah, I got that.
What is it?
The hitchhikers, you know, the seeds.
Oh yeah.
You get everywhere. So yeah, this stuff, if you cut this vine here, and then it'll heal itself, the sap will come out and it'll form around the edge, and then eventually you're going to get like a crystal on the end, and it's like a sugary,
Sorry.
a sugar substance. It's the sap of the tree, of the vine, and you can eat it. So this is stuff that's either coming out, that's what it looks like to me, is that there's some kind of injury nearby. It's starting to harden, and eventually it'll become real, like, crunchy, and it will,
So find yourself a nice
grapevine, cut it, and then water will eventually, it's already starting to get wet. So
Wow.
water will come out. You can take a plastic bag, you tie it around the end, and you'll have water. You can collect it overnight.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm
Bet
gonna
Bear
cut this
Grylls
whole
doesn't know
thing
about
down.
that.
So everybody,
Get out.
So if you try one of the bigger ones,
Why are you looking at me?
All right, give me a second.
You have lots of questions.
I have a question.
Is there any type of contributing factor towards the overpopulation of the vines that are growing? Is there a certain type of shade or food that they like, or nearby, or is there a type of animal that reduces them?
no, right now, a lot of the issue with that is like kind of a multi answered question. But you know, I talked earlier about the deer, that you know that can open up space for the vines to grow. So that's an area for the vine. It provides a space for the vines to grow because they're removing all your native species. As far as the area here in general, when an invasive species comes to a new area, it's like Eden. It's like a brand new place. They're like, great, I have all the food that I need. Nothing here can stop me from growing or living or expanding or reproducing. So there's no limiting factors biologically that are out there. So often it's due to human interactions. It's usually human fault that we introduce different plants and animals, but sometimes it's natural. You can have, you know, an invasion, particularly on islands where you have something that comes in that just gets blown in accidentally on, you know, the currents. That's how species normally disperse over time.